An adjective is an essential part of speech that modifies a noun or pronoun. They are vital to all forms of writing, but must be used carefully because a surfeit of adjectives is never a good thing. The most basic type of adjective, the common adjective, is, as its name suggests, the most common type of adjective to be found. In this example sentence, the word hot is a common adjective, modifying the word beach. In a sentence, you either find an adjective before the noun it's modifying, or as a subject complement after the linking verb. In the second example sentence, all the adjectives are the same, but the word hot is after the linking verb as a subject complement, yet still modifies the word beach. But it's important to note, an adjective modifies. It doesn't describe its noun. This shell is smooth and round. Not all shells are like that. This shell is rough and pointy. Thus, the word modifies the shell. Adjectives have varying degrees. The firstmost degree is known as the positive degree. For example, the shell is purple. The adjective purple is currently in the positive degree. The second degree is called the comparative degree because it compares two objects. You either add the word more or the word less. For example, the shell is less purple than the other one. The third degree is called the superlative degree. You either add the word most or least after your adjective. For example, the final shell here is the least purple of all of them. Okay, let's take another look at the degrees. So first, the positive. The shell on the right is big, whereas the shell on the left is small. Okay, time for the comparative degree. The shell on the right is bigger than the shell in the middle. Notice we added ER this time instead of saying more or less. And finally, the superlative degree. The shell on the far right is the biggest out of all of them. This time we added the ending est instead of saying least or most. As with everything, there are irregulars when it comes to degrees. But let's just start with the positive. There are many shells. Now the comparative degree, this is where we start to see a difference. So there are more shells on the right than on the left. And the superlative. The group on the top has the most shells out of all of them. See, many isn't anything like more or most. The one on the left is just for perspective, but it's clearly incomplete. Now the one on the right is complete. What do you think the varying degrees of complete are? Trick question. Complete has no degrees. It's what's called a non-gradable adjective. Perfect and impossible are the same. It's either perfect or it's imperfect. It can't be somewhere in between. These shells are to demonstrate demonstrative adjectives. So for example, these shells are colorful. That shell is oval. This shell is spiky. And those shells are strange. As you can probably tell, demonstratives refer to things by answering the question, which one? I collected most of these, so most of them are my shells. However, my sister also collected some, so some are her shells. If you had collected them, they would be your shells. But be careful not to confuse these possessive adjectives, which explain whose they are, with possessive pronouns. Possessive pronouns are mine, yours, hers, theirs, etc. Proper adjectives are made from proper nouns, like Arabian scallop. An article is an adjective too. You can see these shells here. Any old shell is a shell, but saying the shell refers to a particular shell. That's why the is a definite article, whereas a is indefinite. In an oyster, an is also indefinite, but is used when the noun begins with a vowel. A participle is an adjective that appears to be a verb. It generally ends with ing, en, or ed. In a sentence, participles are found either before the verb they're modifying, like an ordinary adjective, or in a participial phrase. Find the adjectives.